Solomon Islanders will come together to commemorate the World Diabetes Day 2024 to raise awareness about diabetes, a growing health challenge that affects millions of people worldwide, including right here in our beloved Solomon Islands. This year's theme, Breaking Barriers, Bridging Gaps, underscores our collective commitment to reducing the risk of diabetes and ensuring that everyone with diabetes has access to equitable, comprehensive, and affordable care. Together, let us work towards a healthier future for ourselves and our loved ones. To mark this special event, we wish to welcome Frayville Fono to deliver his speech representing the school students within the country.
Esteemed guests of honor, health personnel, SIBC online audience, locally and abroad, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good afternoon, everyone. Today, we come together to recognize and raise awareness for a global health issue that touches millions of lives, diabetes. But this year, as we celebrate World Diabetes Day 2024, we're not just going to talk about the statistics, the medicines, or the usual narratives. Instead, we're here to speak from a different perspective, the perspective of youth, a generation that represents the future of this world, and more importantly, the future of our beautiful Solomon Islands. This year's theme, Breaking Barriers, Bridging Gaps, isn't just another slogan to hang on a wall. It's a call to action. And as young people in a vibrant, forward-looking nation, it is our responsibility to understand what it means to break barriers and bridge gaps, not just in how we view diabetes, but how we view ourselves, our health, and our community. Ladies and gentlemen, first, let's talk about the barriers. Diabetes is often seen through a narrow lens, something that happens later in life, something that happens to other people, and something that far removed from the experiences of youth. But that's not the full picture. In the Solomon Islands, in many Pacific Island nations, diabetes is not just a disease of the elderly. It's a growing issue that is affecting young people, like us, in alarming numbers. What's more, the traditional approach to diabetes, focused solely on treatment and management, limits our understanding. The old ways of thinking about health don't necessarily apply to us, especially when it comes to the world of social media, technology, and fast food. We live in an age where the pressure to look a certain way, to eat quickly, and to stay sedentary has never been greater. But just because this is the world we live in doesn't mean we should accept it as our future. We need to break the barrier of complacency. We need to acknowledge that diabetes is not a distant problem. It is our problem. We take responsibility for the choice we make today and recognize that our decisions can shape the health landscape for tomorrow. Now, let's turn to bridging gaps. Diabetes isn't just a medical challenge. It's a community challenge. And in a country like the Solomon Islands, where we are bound by a sense of unity, family, and culture, it's up to us to bridge the gap between knowledge and action. How do we bridge this gap? First, we must educate ourselves, not just in schools, but through our social networks, our online platforms, and in our daily conversations. The youth of today are empowered with information in ways previous generations never were, and that comes with both responsibility and opportunity. It's our job to share what we know with our families, with our communities, and most importantly, with each other. By breaking the silence and discussing diabetes openly, we are already starting to bridge the gap of understanding. But there's more. Bridging the gap also means creating a better, healthier environment. We in the nation rich with resources, coconut water, fresh fruits, vegetables, and fish, yet many of us are increasingly turning to processed foods and sugary drinks. The truth is, unhealthy choices often come at cheaper prices. But let's ask ourselves, how can we change this? How can we make healthy living accessible and cool again? It's not just about what we eat, but how we live. Exercise is an important part of the conversation. And it doesn't have to mean running marathons or lifting weights. It's about moving, about being active in our everyday lives. Whether it's dancing, swimming, or walking with friends, these small, enjoyable actions can make a big difference in our fight against diabetes. The exciting part is that as young people, we have the power to change the future. The generation before us fought for independence, fought for freedom, and now it's our turn to fight for health and well-being. It's our turn to lead the way, not just through traditional methods, but by embracing new ideas, new habits, and new technologies that can transform how we approach health in the Pacific. But we can't do it alone. Just as we've always come together to face challenges, whether in sports, education, or culture, we must come together to fight diabetes. We must break the barriers of ignorance, fear, and inaction. We must bridge the gaps in knowledge, accessibility, and attitude. Today, on World Diabetes Day, let's make a promise. Let's promise to make better choices for ourselves, to inspire those around us, and to actively work to build a healthier, stronger Solomon Islands. The future is in our hands. We are the ones who can make this change, and we will break the barriers and bridge the gaps together. May God bless the Solomon Islands from shore to shore. Thank you.